You find a software product online. The screenshots look polished, the features seem impressive, and suddenly an idea starts forming in your mind. Maybe this is the platform you need to start your own online business. So you buy it. But then comes the question many beginners never ask before the purchase. What exactly did you buy? Did you buy a business? Did you buy a complete platform? Or did you buy one building block that still needs to become part of a much larger system? Understanding that difference is one of the first steps toward thinking like a business builder. This is NEXNET, decoding networks, architecting wealth. Software can perform useful functions. It can manage information, automate tasks, connect users, process transactions, or create a digital experience. But a business needs more than functionality. A business needs a customer with a real problem. It needs a value proposition. It needs a way to reach people. It needs operations, support, economics, and a reason for customers to keep coming back. Software can become part of that machine, but software by itself is not the machine. When you purchase a digital product, there is more to understand than the feature list. You need to know what the product actually includes. You need to understand the license attached to it. And you need to know what technical requirements are necessary for it to work. Depending on the product, there may also be documentation, updates, support, installation instructions, or external services involved. These details can differ significantly from one product to another. That is why reading the product information carefully is not a boring technical step. It is part of making a business decision. For software sold as source code or a script, what you are often purchasing is a technical foundation. The code may already contain substantial functionality, but code still needs an environment in which it can operate. Depending on the technology, that could involve a server, database, framework, programming language, extensions, APIs, or other dependencies. This is where beginners sometimes encounter a surprise. A product can be technically complete while still requiring technical work before it becomes part of a functioning business. Then there is the environment where the software actually lives. A domain gives your online presence an address. Hosting provides the environment where a website or application can run. A database may store information. Other services can handle payments, email, authentication, storage, or communication. To a customer, all of this may look like one simple website. Behind the screen, however, there can be an entire infrastructure stack working together. Understanding that stack makes the idea of building an online business much less mysterious. Installation is another concept that needs to be understood correctly. Installing software means putting it into an environment where it can potentially operate. It does not automatically mean the business is ready. There may still be configuration, branding, content, testing, security, payment integration, email setup, customer experience decisions, and operational preparation. Some products may make these steps easier. Others may require more work. The important question is not whether the process is easy or difficult. The important question is knowing what the process actually involves. There is another detail that can have major consequences: the license. Digital products can come with specific rules governing how they may be used. The terms can address commercial use, client projects, installations, redistribution, or other conditions. Those rules depend on the product and the applicable license. So before you build a business around software, read the actual licensing terms. Do not assume that purchasing a product means unlimited freedom to use it in any way you want.
Even when software works exactly as advertised, it may not look or behave exactly like the business you imagined. Your brand may need to be added, the content may need to change, the workflow may need to reflect how your business operates. Customers may need a different experience. Additional integrations may be necessary. Sometimes the changes are small, sometimes they require development. This is why the question should not simply be, does this software have the feature? A better question is, how much work will it take to make that feature useful for my business? And then comes the part that is easy to forget when you are excited about a new product. What happens after you buy it? Software lives in a changing environment. Operating systems change, browsers change, dependencies change, security requirements evolve. External services can change their APIs or policies. Depending on the product, support and updates may also have specific conditions. None of this automatically makes a product good or bad. It simply means that software should be treated as part of an evolving technical environment, not as something you buy once and forget forever.
Before buying any software, slow down and ask a few basic questions. What exactly does it do? What does it require? What is included? What is missing? What does the license allow? Will you need additional services? How much technical work could be involved? And how will the product actually fit into the customer experience? These questions do not guarantee that every purchase will be perfect. They do something more useful. They help you make the decision with your eyes open.
And this is where the bigger opportunity becomes visible. You do not necessarily need to build every piece of an online business from an empty screen. Existing software can provide building blocks. Infrastructure can provide the environment. Other services can provide specialized capabilities. Your job is to understand how those pieces fit together. Then you can add the part that software cannot automatically provide: your business idea, your market understanding, your positioning, your operations, and the value you create for customers. That is how technology becomes more than a tool. It becomes part of a business system. So the next time you discover a software product online, look beyond the screenshots. Ask what it actually gives you. Ask what it requires. Understand the license. Think about the infrastructure. Consider the customization. And most importantly, ask where that product fits inside the business you want to build. You do not have to create everything from zero, but you do need to understand the building blocks you choose. Because an online business is rarely created by one magical tool. It is built by connecting the right components around a real problem and creating something people are willing to use and pay for. This is NEXNET, Decoding Networks, Architecting Wealth.